When I started meditating, my entire fucking life changed. This is so far beyond just creating safety in your nervous system. This is so far beyond creating a pocket of your time in your day to defrag the stresses of your brain. Now, most of us go, oh, I'm no good at meditation. I've tried meditation before. I've got constant chitter-chatter thoughts. I never get that body bliss silence. I'm doing it wrong. This isn't working. And this is where I'm gonna completely obliterate all that bullshit. Your nits is your fucking ego fighting for its dear life. Because every time you meditate, you detonate a little part of your ego. So the reason that meditation made me a millionaire is because... Welcome to the Alex Tripod Show, the space where we blend 5D frequency with real world flex. After coaching thousands globally and becoming one of the most trusted and triggering voices in manifestation, I realized you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you're willing to fucking become. So if you're a high achieving entrepreneur who knows that we're born for more wealth, more influence, more unapologetic power, then strap in. This podcast is your permission slip to collapse timelines, rewrite the rules, and embody the version of you that gets everything they came for. Because let's be real, nothing is real, everything's a hologram, and you're about to bend it all in your favor. Let's fucking go. Welcome, beautiful soul, to another episode of the Alex Tripod Show. I am really excited to deliver this one. This one's all about how meditation made me a millionaire and how meditation can make you a millionaire too. This is so far beyond just creating safety in your nervous system. This is so far beyond creating a pocket of your time in your day to defrag the stresses of your brain, right? There is so many benefits to meditation, like so many profound benefits to the brain, to your cells. I mean, reverse aging. Why do you think I look so young at 40? I've been meditating for 10 years. But seriously though, I'm not even joking. When I started meditating, my entire fucking life changed. And that doesn't mean that I've been meditating for 10 years straight every single day. I have definitely had bouts where I've gotten really sloppy. I've like at the moment, I'm probably not even being that consistent, to be honest. I feel a little bit out of integrity sharing this, but I'm gonna say, for the last 9.5 years, I would say I'm 90% consistent. So I want to explain to you exactly what this has got to do with money, your mission, your business, and it's going to blow the fucking thing through the roof. Like make you, make you more authentic. Like it is insane. Before I draw you what actually happens to your brain and what actually happens inside your body and what's happening on a conscious level on this beautiful blackboard, I actually want to just share a little story with you. So basically, almost 10 years ago, I shared this story in my movie, but basically I invested like $37,500 into myself in a space of a week and a half. $20,000 of that was on a mastermind where I learned the skill set, how to go one-to-many as a coach, lead magnets, creating my program. Like that was skills that I needed, right? And some mindset stuff. And $17,000 of that, or a bit less, sorry, maybe $16,000 of that, was to get my coaching qualifications from the coaching institution. And then $1,500 of that was learning a technique called Transcendental Meditation, TM. And it was interesting because I was at my 9-to-5 job and I heard something around TM. I don't know what it was in conversation, or maybe I saw it on the internet. And I started I think there was like Russell, what's his name? Russell, the cool guy. Russell Brand, Ellen DeGeneres. There's a few other celebrities, whether you like them or not, or whether they're part of the Illuminati or not, whatever. They were like advocates for TM. And I always say I'm a marketer's wet dream. I'm like, fucking, you say like, get skinny fast. I'm fucking downing that bottle. Like I'm a full marketer's wet dream. Like I'm such a sucker for good copy and good marketing. And so when I saw these celebrities being like ambassadors for TM, I was like, oh wow, it's like, it's like really a thing. And I went home that night after my 9-to-5 job, and my dad, like if you met my dad, well, you would have seen him on my movie, Con the fruiterer. He's not a big wog, but he's a Greek man. Dad's not into spirituality. Dad's not into meditation. Dad doesn't talk about personal development. He doesn't even really know what I do. He does now. So I went home that day and I'm having dinner with my family and Dad mentioned something about, literally the words came out of him, transcendental meditation. And he was saying it from a space because I think my sister, like at the time, was suffering from a bit of mild anxiety, and Dad was doing research of like how to help her out. And he's like, your sister should do like transcendental meditation. And I was like, I feel like that's angels speaking through the vessel of my dad. That's twice in one day. And I've never before this heard of transcendental meditation. So I go into Google. This is before chat existed. And I Googled transcendental meditation, did my research. Next thing you know, I'm signing up to a $1,500 course. And it was basically a 4-day course. But when I say 4-day course, it was like a 1-hour touch point. So I'd go after work, drive to the city, and I'd have from 6 to 7, there'd be one session that I'd sit with a meditation teacher, and she would teach me about this practice of transcendental meditation, which I'm going to put a $1,500 course into the next 10 minutes and show you what it's all about. And I remember part of this course, and the beauty of it was the implementation. So it was not just teaching us what was happening and how to do it, but she forced me to sit with her for 20 minutes of silence of meditation every time I went. And then my homework was to then meditate in the morning and meditate again before the session. So I was meditating at the session and then twice during the day. So I was getting like 3 meditations in for 4 days in a row. And the accountability of me either, number one, having someone forcing me to do it with me on the spot. Number two, having skin in the game. Okay, because I'd heard of meditation before. We've all got free meditation. Why the fuck aren't you doing it? Huh? Why aren't you meditating? I bet you if you paid $2,000 or $1,000 to do a meditation course, you'd start fucking meditating. Most people don't implement what they know is good for them because there's no skin in the game. That is bottom line, which I'm such an advocate for investing in yourself. Like, you know, right now, even if you love this podcast and you're listening to all this stuff, but you're still not where you want to be, what's stopping you from actually investing in yourself and coming into one of my paid containers? Because that's when the game's really going to change. Or maybe not me, maybe someone else, right? For me, having skin in the game, not just in the mastermind, but in meditation, it had me implement, not just gain information and take it for granted. Be like, fuck, I've put money here. I'm going to get my money's worth and actually implement this in my life. And I remember it was like the 3rd day, and I was driving to my 3rd day, my 3rd hour with her to the city. And it was traffic, and it's Melbourne. This is when I lived in Melbourne. And it's busy, and it's, and I'm kind of 6 o'clock, and I'm tired, I'm scoop on, I'm driving to thing, and I was home. And I remember it was a red light, and it was the first wave of complete, pure presence that I think I felt for the first time in my life ever. And I just like felt this experience of bliss, of presence, of stillness, of like just inner. Yet there was so much busyness and chaos and traffic and noise coming outside of me. And I was already feeling the effects of like 5 or 6 meditation sessions. And so that's for me when I was like, wow, this is something really magic here. And I'm gonna tell you in a second how this is related to your millions. First, I'm gonna tell you what's actually happening to give you some context about why this world is so fucked up. Because most of us are actually living here. So this is the sea right now. And your brain has got fucking, I don't know how many, but like, I think it's like, I don't even know the right stat. I used to know the stats, but let's just say millions of thoughts happening at all the time, every day. And so I want you to think of out there in the sea, really rough sea. So on the surface level, most of us are operating from the surface level. Thoughts, consuming, scrolling, thing, not enough, thoughts. So we're in a constant state of like stress or mild anxiety or mild cortisol, right? And what meditation does, you get given, especially in TM, you get given something called a mantra. Now, mantra simply stands for vehicle of the mind. Mantra, vehicle of the mind. A good mantra, and what they give you in TM, is a 2-syllable word that basically means nothing, that you can basically hum to yourself or incant to yourself silently, internally, that doesn't really mean anything. Like so hum, da-dum. Like, you know, if you said thank you or ping pong, your brain would probably start thinking of a ping pong ball. So you don't want it to be an actual word. You want it to be something that means nothing. So your mind doesn't attach to the meaning of that word, okay? So I'm not meant to tell you my sacred word because it's sacred. I have given it to my 5DU students. Whoopsies. But let's just say I got given a mantra and this was my word that I was repeating to myself for 20 minutes, right? Now, most of us go, oh, I'm no good at meditation. I've tried meditation before. I've got constant chitter-chatter thoughts. I never get that body bliss silence. I'm doing it wrong. This isn't working. And this is where I'm going to completely obliterate all that bullshit, okay? The point of a mantra, if you're Aussie, mantra, okay, it's the vehicle of the mind. And the point of the mantra is to take you down into the journey of down here, what we call the deep sea of consciousness. So again, if this is the wild, hectic sea out into the Atlantic Ocean, I want you to think 500 meters down that sea, it would be dead silence and stillness. Okay, so this is basically your truth, your deep sea of consciousness, that part of you that's connected to all that is, that deeper, deeper, deeper part of you. But most of us are so busy operating from here all day long, we never actually feel this deeper core part of us, whether you want to call it your heart, or presence, or your God self, or your infinite intelligence, or the part of you that's connected to source energy. It's that part of you that's connected to the infinite consciousness of the universe, all right? So basically the mantra is taking you down like a vehicle and you're like, so hum, so hum, so hum, so hum. And you're like, am I even doing this right? What's actually happening? And what will happen is you will get something that I call nits. Oh no, mate. Okay, fuck. You got nits. For those of you listening to me on Spotify, my texters are not doing me right. Nits, N-I-T-S. By the way, get on YouTube for this one, guys, because we want to see the visual for this. Nits stand for Ninja Interrupting Thoughts. Fucking nits. These nits will come and interject you and try to deflect you back into these messy thoughts up here. In other words, your nits is your fucking ego fighting for its dear life. Because every time you meditate, you detonate a little part of your ego, a little part of your self-sabotage, a little part of you that chitter-chatter that's keeping you small, that's keeping you safe, that's keeping you in the old reality. The reason that I quantum shifted, the reason that I've made millions is my ability to literally dissolve the old identity of me. So having meditation as a baseline to dissolve the fucking insistent self-doubt and chitter-chatter that runs most of our fucking lives, right, was such a good foundation for me. And then on top of that, I'm pouring on all the bulletproof reprogramming system tools. So most people will think, oh, I'm journaling, I'm doing some gratitudes, great, but your head's actually full of crap. So that's like no different to having a cup full of dirty water and you're trying to pour clean Kangen water inside, right? Ooh, 9.5 pH water. I'm pouring water in this. Yeah, eventually you'll get there in fucking 10 years. But what meditation does is you spill out a bit of the shit first and then you pour in the water. So you're spilling out the dirt at the same time simultaneously reprogramming yourself, which is going to accelerate rewiring and you recoding yourself to the new identity, right? So basically what happens and what I want you to understand with nits is you're going down to the deep sea of consciousness. Thoughts are fine. Thoughts do not mean that you're fucking up your meditation. Thoughts do not mean that you're not doing it right. Thoughts are great. Thoughts are part of there. Thoughts, in fact, are part of your brain defragging itself. It's the stress that needs to be processed so you can actually have clearer thoughts for the rest of your day. In fact, I would go as far as to say that there is no such thing as a bad meditation. The fact that you've allocated 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes every single morning to allow your brain to chitter chatter and defrag itself, even though you're trying to concentrate on the mantra and your fucking thoughts are winning and keep jolting you up here, right? You're actually going to have less stress and more space for downloads to come through during your day because you've allocated time to defrag your organic computer called the brain, right? So the only job that you want to do is, as you notice yourself, oh, did I leave the washing machine on? I got to go pick up the kids. This is a waste of time. I've got to do that lead magnet. Fuck, my to-do list is growing. These nits will come. The thoughts will fucking come. You're human, right? Your only job is when you start recognizing you're in the thought pattern again, take your mind back to the mantra. That's literally it. That's the only rule. Oh, I'm in thought again. I'm in chitter chatter again. Cool. So hum, so hum, so hum, so hum, so hum. This is not fucking working. This is shit. Oh my God, how long has it? It's only been 2 minutes. Oh fuck, I'm in thoughts again. So hum, so hum, so hum, so hum. That's literally it. And if your entire 10 minutes or 20 minutes is you doing this, you've still had an incredible meditation session. And I promise you, meditation is a compounding effect. You might not feel like a fucking different person in 2 days, but 2 months from now, doing this consistently, you're going to feel more regulated, more calm. You're going to have more space for your truth and your actual unique $1 million ideas coming through. And that leads me beautifully to this. Quick pause, legend. If this episode is landing, then it's time you got inside 5DU. This is my entire life's work in one hub. It's 5D identity work meets business strategy that actually creates results. If you're ready to finally live in overflow, 5DU is your next step. So click the link in the show notes and get inside. Now back to the episode. Eventually, or maybe a lot of new time meditators experience this, you will reach this space here. And what happens, you go into like a mind gap. It's like, for me, what it feels like, it's like I'm losing my identity. Like it kind of feels scary, but I'm not even conscious. And I feel in the first year of my meditation, it felt like I was becoming everything and nothing. Like I became like a blob of energy. And what was happening was I was understanding myself as source energy, subatomic particles floating in the abyss of nothingness. So in my practice, almost every meditation in my first year, I felt oneness. I felt pure bliss. I felt pure presence. And to be able to feel that level of wholeness and then come out of my meditation and create my lead magnet, coach my clients, take action from that place of wholeness, that was fucking magic. That was magic, right? Most of us are not taking action from a place of wholeness. Most of us are taking action from a place of lack, not enoughness, or void, or emptiness. That's how I believe 98% of humanity are running their businesses and their lives, which is why we're fucked up at the moment. Do I believe if every single human on the planet started meditating 20 minutes every single day of their lives, would the planet look different? Fuck yeah, absolutely. We'd probably shift in a month. But most people haven't linked meditation to becoming their most authentic version of themselves. And what does becoming the most authentic, fully self-expressed version of you look like? It means you make millions in your business because you're tapping into your truth. By the way, this deep sea of consciousness, it also represents your $1 million ideas. This is where all your fucking incredible, unique soul downloads come from. They bubble up when you have space, where you're not concerned about this hook and that lead magnet and what other people are doing, and you're connected to your fucking truth. They're gonna come, these ideas. And then because you've got this sense of safety in your nervous system, right, then you're actually more likely to take the action to execute on the idea, because you're not in, I'm not good enough, this is not going to work. You're slowly dissolving the ego that's telling you you're not good enough. You're basically killing your ego with every 10-minute meditation. I promise you. So the reason that meditation made me a millionaire is because I dissolved old Alex so fast, because I meditated twice a day, every day for the first year of my business. And I truly believe that accelerated my uniqueness, my authenticity, my ability to execute, which ultimately, had me creating from just a more authentic space. And people are going to feel that vibration. That's what's going to pop. That's what's going to have you stand out. So I guess I want to wrap it up here and say, knowing now that thoughts are fine, knowing now that all you need is to detect when your ego or your nits come in and try to interject you and tell you that this isn't working, knowing that that's just your ego trying to keep you in the old reality, knowing now that there's no such thing as a bad meditation, knowing now that eventually you might have some not so fun meditations, but some might be very gratifying, and you might also start getting some pockets of like bliss body and nothingness and feeling like, oh my God, I felt that wholeness that Alex is talking about, even if it was just for 10 seconds. Knowing all this now, why? Why is it important for you to promise yourself that you're going to start meditating as of right now or tomorrow morning? Why are you going to put yourself into a 30-day boot camp of 15 minutes silent meditation every single day? Why? Why is it important? I want you to promise yourself and get clear. And if you don't want to, a deeper question is, why aren't you? Because I promise you, this is going to be the key that really takes everything to a whole new level. I feel like I really haven't done this full justice, but I'm going to trust that this has served. I could go so much deeper. I will wrap this up by saying my clients that implement this consistently, by the way, I've got a whole much more in-depth training on Transcendental Meditation, how to do it. It's like everything in 5DU, because this is kind of like a taste, like this is a good starter for a lot of people, but a lot of you might want to go deeper. So I've got like basically everything I learned in that course in 5DU. But I will say the clients of mine that do this consistently, fuck the quantum shifts that they get, because they pair it up with a bulletproof reprogramming system. So they're not just dissolving the old identity, they're getting clear on who the fuck they are as well. And this is creating massive results because they're actually taking the action and they're getting the results, and they're quantum shifting and 10x in their income. So I love you. Go meditate. You've got this. Be a part of making this world a better place. Do your fucking part and go silence that chitter chatter and go meditate. I love you, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Alex Tripod Show. Thanks for tuning into The Alex Tripod Show. If this episode activated something inside of you, leave a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify and hit that subscribe button on YouTube so you never miss a frequency drop, because this isn't just a podcast, it's a mission to raise a vibration of humanity, to awaken millions, to build new earth, one lit up legend at a time. And if you're ready to go deeper, wilder, and all in on your soul's legacy, come play on Instagram at Alex Tripod. I'm there daily dropping codes, calling out bullshit, and helping you manifest the life you actually want. Let's keep playing big, because we're only just getting started.